Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader and in this video, I want to talk about Bitcoin because I will be buying Bitcoin at certain prices at certain levels and I want to share that with you. I want to also share my opinion in this video as always, and we'll take a look at the technicals as well and the price action for what Bitcoin is doing. So with that, I want to also let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. Now, so let's first talk about, before going into the technicals, a bit on Bitcoin, okay? So has any thesis on the functionality of Bitcoin changed? No. Bitcoin as in its entirety of being Bitcoin is still a Bitcoin. If you believe that in future Bitcoin will have much more farther reach in terms of store of value, in terms of exchange of values, then you shouldn't be complaining on crypto or Bitcoin price falling. It's giving you opportunities to own a Bitcoin. Definitely, though, risk management is very important because you are still exchanging hands right now to own Bitcoin by using your currency, your fiat currency. However, if you are looking at Bitcoin from the perspective of the future, hold of value, exchange of value, and holding a non-inflationary asset, then price for appreciation here at this point to own doesn't really matter. But definitely you don't want to, if you can get more cheaper, then why not, right? So that's what I'll be talking about. What important levels am I watching? And definitely if things starts to, if I start to see strength in Bitcoin, not for the purpose of trading it and then exchanging it at or selling it at higher prices, not for that, but just for the reason, because if I start to see price action turn bullish on this thing, I know then, okay, the cheaper prices are gonna go away in the near term. So that's why I would want to own it. Now, if you are looking to trade Bitcoin still to exchange in your currency, like if you want to buy cheap and then sell at an expensive value to still get the money in terms of fiat currency, then that's a different story with crypto. Then at this point, if you are also looking to trade it and you are worried, oh, it's going down, and if you bought it up here and you are like, oh no, I'm losing money, well, then you're looking at from the perspective of still fiat currency. Okay, then you are trading it, and then it means you shouldn't be in the position right now because it's in the downtrend. Structure broke at 107 area. Okay, that yellow zone that you're seeing on my chart, structure broke over here. All right, once we lost it right over here, right? So there, it depends what your use case is for Bitcoin. I do my trading and all in the equities. I don't hold any crypto right now. But as Bitcoin is gaining its more and more stability and acceptance in the society as for exchange of value and hold of value, and that has been the premises of Bitcoin from the beginning, but now it's being more and more attainable in the system as well, its value, right? So for example, there is this bill being brought up. Let me bring that up real quick. Here we go. Representative Davidson introduces bill to allow taxes to be paid in Bitcoin. Now, the more and more Bitcoin gets integrated into the system, now I'm not going to go into the detail. I have my agreements and disagreements with how they're planning to roll it out. That's not my point. That's not what I'm going to get into. But what I'm saying is that more and more Bitcoin is being looked at. It has to be part of the transactional system, part of the financial system, right? So if you want to own Bitcoin, not from the purposes of trading, but from the use case of holding value, exchange of value for the future, and having a non-inflationary asset, then you want to get it as cheap as possible. Now that brings me to my point. What are the zones I'm looking to buy Bitcoin at? I'm not planning to hold Ethereum or other cryptos. No, only Bitcoin, because that's where the acceptance is. Why does everyone believes in the currency that we use? Because it's a legal tender. Everyone is made to believe that this is the store of value. This is what the system agrees upon. And Bitcoin is getting to that stage more and more as well. Okay, so you want to get it as cheap as possible, right? So the areas to watch, the first one, let's say if we keep dipping, right, there's a second scenario. What if it starts to form in an uptrend, right? That will take, I think, quite some time. But let's talk about first what are the key important levels that I would like to buy Bitcoin. Again, risk management is important. I'm not gonna just deploy all my capital or exchange it for Bitcoin at a one level. No, it's all about managing the risk and keeping the opportunity still open. So the first level is 73,000 to 75,000. That's the zone. Okay, that zone has been a very important zone, and I would be interested to, if we get there, I would, without even looking at if there is an uptrend, I would like to own some Bitcoin over there. All right. If we lose that, then I'm watching the level like 53,000. I do think 53,000 is very critical important level. Let's get to the weekly interval. We do have around, right now it's at, okay, it's already at 54,000, but we do have a 200 weeks moving average there. It's an important zone, and it's also a structural support area on the weekly. I would like to own some Bitcoin over there as well, regardless if it turns in an uptrend or not. Okay, you can dive. I'm just, with crypto, as I'm telling you, it's gaining more and more in the government system as well, more acceptance. You want to own it, right? It's just no longer anymore something just that is being talked about or traded only among few people, right? So it's becoming an important part of society. So again, there are two use cases here. If you are trading it still for the fiat currency, then you are technically you are then not really believing in Bitcoin and crypto, if you are still exchanging things for the currency on the Bitcoin side. If you believe in Bitcoin, then you are not really looking at how much will you make on this when it goes up, right? Because then you are still looking to exchange it for your fiat currency, right? But again, that's just my perspective. You do whatever you want to do. So, and or now the other place, now since I talked about the zones that I'm looking at, as if we get those prices, and if we don't get there on Bitcoin price, then I would like to see an uptrend form on Bitcoin. Right now we're in the downtrend. There is no sign of uptrend right now on Bitcoin. When I see that, likelihood of that happening is right now little to nothing. Only if we somehow get up without going further lower, go up and start to close above 92,000, we gotta close a candle. If we can somehow start to do that, better if above 93, that's where, from where we are, it will confirm me that okay, we are getting in an uptrend and more cheaper prices may not come. So that may be my time to get some Bitcoins. But anyways, it's also a game of patience. Okay, you don't have to take action every day in the markets. You gotta pick your plays. Okay, all right guys, that's all I had for you in this video, and with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.